Alrighty, folks. So the shine of Doge might be wearing off a little bit, as indicated by these town halls that are starting to make some news across the country. So this video went kind of viral here. Roger Marshall stands up and leaves his own town hall. Congressman Roger Marshall, after being asked why Republicans think it's acceptable for Doge to be firing veterans. Let's take a look at this one.
Right now, as far as cutting out those jobs, a huge percentage of those people, and I know you care about the veterans, are veterans.
Yes.
And that is a damn shame.
Yes. Yeah.
That is a damn shame.
Yes.
I'm not a Democrat, but I'm worried about the veterans, man.
Well, I yielded to one of my elders, and I appreciate his comments. I think it's a great, we don't have time for everyone to stand up. I do got 2 more commitments today. Appreciate everybody making the drive out, and God bless America. Thank you.
I was like Bob Roberts. Don't take crack. It's a ghetto drug.
Yeah.
We're going to take pictures with you, buddy, right?
So they're saying, hey, it's not time yet. You know, you still have plenty of time. It's a senator, but pardon me, I said congressman. He's a senator from Kansas, so not exactly the bluest of areas. Here's another one. Just spotted this on YouTube from Representative Keith Self's town hall in Wiley, Texas earlier today. Another large, angry crowd at a Republican town hall in a deep red district. Sound on. Here we go.
Is the Doge program that's
not promising.
Yeah, no. Not good, believe me, not good.
Should send this to Rogan.
Yeah.
this is very closely akin to what
They told this guy to go Keith himself.
This is very closely akin to what Bill Clinton did between 1994. Bill Clinton only plans to cut 400,000 jobs.
Keep digging. See, so what we're starting to see now is an actual resistance, not a pussy hat Russiagate bullshit resistance, but people actually realizing it is not in their class interest to support these people who are intent on destroying their class. So here is a montage of some other town halls. The first part of this was pre-edited by Breakthrough News. Obviously, check them out on Twitter and YouTube. And then there's some more here. This is only about 2.5 minutes. It's not long, but this will give you a pretty good sampling. You've seen this one already. This is the one where the private security goons.
Who the f are these men?
By the way, Kootenai County, Idaho, is apparently famously home to neo-Nazi organizations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good strudel.
The people would like to know what you, congressmen, and your fellow congressmen are going to do to rein in the megalomaniac in the White House.
I am very glad someone is looking at all of the waste.
The fact that Elon Musk is there, he will be able to raise questions, and because of his fame and financial success, I think all of a sudden he's getting rid of the DEI.
Oh, wow.
I think
That's
you're
surprising.
living in the greatest time in American history. Government is not
Government is all business.
every
And just
woman
because you
home.
have a
You will sit
government
them on the ground.
doesn't mean it's a lifetime of
And I
movement
take
like
care
the
of
Supreme
people.
Court. There are
I did
jobs
write a question.
available.
I wrote a
God
question
has a
down
plan
because you
and
haven't
purpose
answered
for your
God has a
life.
plan.
I'm concerned about my life.
And
Sir,
you
are you
are
concerned
victim
about
or
my
victim.
life?
And you
Mr.
will be able to
Alford.
get another job and provide for yourself
Mr. Alford.
with confidence.
Vote you out. Vote you out.
There's been a mandate to the president from the American people. Am I correct?
No.
There's not a mandate by the American people.
Wow, she didn't see that coming.
30%.
The Congressional Budget Office, you know what it's going to be by 2035? It's going to be 59 trillion. Did I tell you? Did I tell you? You've got people who pay more taxes. The top 1% of this country pays taxes.
Yep. Not good, believe me. Not good. So Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, was asked about his protests and about these protests, rather. And, he recycles an old line, the old trope. It's all AstroTurf. They're all paid. It's all fake.
Do you have concerns that that's anything that Democrats will be able to use to run against those Republicans?
No, because no, I don't. Because the videos you saw of the town halls were for paid protesters in many of those places. These are Democrats who went to the events early and filled up the seats. If the videos had panned
You can't argue
outside
they
the
were all
building,
paid protesters, though, Mr. Speaker.
Many of them were.
A
I don't know.
Republican acknowledged they were his constituents.
One Republican acknowledged they were his constituents. That's fantastic. Okay, but they had Democrats come and fill the seats early, all right? This is an old playbook that they pulled out and ran, and it made it look like that what is happening in Washington is...
Oh, so you mean people who don't like you showed up to scream at you at the town hall?
Sounds like AOC.
Yeah, right, exactly. I mean, yes, like that is what's happening, is that the opposition is getting very fired up, even in very red areas like, Kansas, rural Texas, Missouri. That doesn't mean they're paid or AstroTurfed. That just means, yes, like the opposition is showing up to tell you what they think of you.
Unpopular, but I'm going to tell you, Caitlin, the American people are behind what's happening. The DOGE efforts is polling over 80% right now. They want us to find efficiencies in the federal government. They want the government to be smaller and leaner and more accountable to the taxpayers. And that's what these efforts are all about. That's what the Republican Party is about. That's what our commitment is to do, to make government work better for the people. This is a restoration of common sense above everything else. And I think the American people are going to remain in favor of what's happening here.
All right. Well, NBC News, House Republicans hit the brakes.
I swear to God, man, if it ever comes out that we actually are sending androids out into society to do jobs, Caitlin Collins is going to be the first one exposed.
Yeah, exactly.
Her eyebrows and her eyes are exactly like when they're trying to get AI robotics to do human facial expressions. It's just...
Yeah.
Nobody home.
House Republicans hit the brakes on town halls after blowback over Trump's cuts. House Republicans are becoming weary and wary of in-person town hall meetings after a number of lawmakers have faced hometown crowds angry about the Trump administration's push to slash government programs and staffing. Party leaders suggested if lawmakers feel the need to hold such events, they do tele-town halls, or at least, bless you, vet attendees to avoid scenes that become viral clips, according to GOP sources. Oh, that's great. Yeah, you want to vet the attendees. So what? Only registered Republicans are allowed to attend Republican town halls? That sounds very democratic. A GOP
It really does.
Yeah.
I mean, both D and small. I mean, this is Democrats, right? It's the same shit. Yeah. I mean, but it's the same thing they've been doing.
I'm saying in this example, yeah. A GOP aide said House Republican leaders are urging lawmakers to stop engaging in them altogether. The town halls and the rash of negative headlines have been the first bit of public blowback from members who face voters next year. And the new reluctance to hold them indicates there are bubbling concerns about the impact the cuts could have on the GOP's chances of holding its thin majority in the House next year. The viral nature of video clips spreading from one district to another means a bad confrontation in safe Republican territory could influence voters in battlegrounds. Obviously, we're very aware of those headlines, a Republican National Committee official familiar with the dynamic said. I don't know that a specific edict is going to come down from on high that they need to stop or anything, but a message I believe has been clearly sent that this narrative should end very soon, the official said. Probably the best way for that to happen is no more town halls. Elon Musk's work still has the administration's support, period. All right, so there's two ways to look at this sort of fact pattern here unfolding in March of 2025. Number one, you could say better this happen in March of 2025 than September of 2026, where there's still time to maybe course correct and right the ship, or maybe time for this to make its way to the backs of voters' minds, depending on how things go between now and the midterms. The other way to look at that exact same fact pattern is this is supposed to be your honeymoon period. And the fact that you have, congressman after congressman and senator after senator being shouted down by angry constituents at town halls this early on is not a great sign for their midterm chances. So you can look at it either way. The Democrats are in no great shape. Their voters are angry with them as well. But when you make issues existential, you give your opponent a big boost. If they're talking about cutting Medicaid by $880 billion, the Democrats could run Hakeem Jeffries' toenail and it would win. Like when you make issues existential, you put yourself in a very bad position. And that's what they're doing now. And they're not wasting any time. The fact that they're moving so fast and going so hard means this is happening sooner than it would have under normal circumstances where, you'd see this honeymoon period where people are more optimistic about the fate of the country. This kind of punctured that. And the fact that you're seeing these kinds of town halls, it's not just one or two. That's why we waited to do this story, because they're not going to make a big deal out of one or two. These are now viral video after viral video after viral video of fairly old white voters in rural conservative areas showing up to express with great urgency that they don't support a lot of these cuts because they're being hurt by them. This is what Steve Bannon said. Steve Bannon said a lot of MAGA's on Medicaid. You can't do this. And they haven't even touched Medicaid yet because they're kind of afraid to. They're still trying to prime people for that, but they're having trouble even getting to that point.
They're finding out Project 2025 is a cookbook. And they're on the menu.
Right.
Absolutely. And this is what's so insane about it. This is all about giving themselves tax cuts.
Yep.
That's it. It's not about saving the budget. It's not about balancing our books. It's about giving themselves tax cuts. If it were about that, they would actually, let's assume the best intentions. They'd go after these cuts and they would get rid of their tax cuts. Right? If it's really about balancing the budget, this is about looting the treasury. It is not about balancing the budget. If it were about balancing the budget, they'd get rid of the tax cuts, right?
Right.
All these years of Reaganomics, it's never worked. It's never actually boosted incomes for everybody to give rich people money because they don't need to put it back into the economy. It works very well for Wall Street. It's one of the reasons Wall Street keeps going higher and higher, because you just keep giving these rich douchebags all this money. They throw it into the market. They throw it into bonds. They throw it into financial instruments. They don't put it into the economy. It doesn't help you. This is how greedy these people are. They have wealth that the pharaohs never even dreamed of. It's not enough. They still got to come for your Social Security. They still got to come for what little health care poor people have in a country that's notorious for its barbaric policies around healthcare. That is who is in charge.
Please clap.